Closing is never just one question that you ask. It's not getting to the end of your sale and asking, "So what do you think?" Closing is about asking a series of incrementally more committal questions that logically funnel someone towards a decision. Closing is a process, not an event. And what I want you to think of closing as is like a series of stoplights. Each time you come to a stoplight, you're either going to get a red light, you're going to get a green light, or you're going to get a yellow light. A red light is like saying, "I'm not interested, this isn't something I'm into, it's a no, you can be done." You don't have to ask another question. If you ask a question and you get a green light, that's them giving you an answer, nodding and smiling, saying yes, and you can move on to the next closing question. If you get a yellow light, that's like an objection. That's something that you need to answer and you need to work through. Closing is like a series of stoplights that moves you closer and closer to the destination. Each question that you ask is one of the stoplights along that path. So right now, I'm going to share with you a few different types of closing questions that should be in your closing funnel. These are the questions that you should ask as part of that series of different closing questions that brings your prospect towards a decision. Now, the first kind of closing question that we're going to talk about is a general yes question. A general yes question is a question in which you already know the answer to that question is going to be yes. You can ask them, "Is saving money important to you?" What do you think they're going to say? Yes. Everyone would say saving time or saving money is important to them. If someone has already communicated to you that having a expedited delivery is important to them, you can ask, "So is getting your shipment by such and such date, that's important to you, right?" That's a general yes question if you know the answer is going to be yes. Now, what do you think the purpose of asking a general yes question is? It's momentum. We want to create momentum going into that closing process. Now, the next kind of question that you may want to ask in your series of stoplights is a tie-down question. A tie-down question is a selling statement with a question on the end of it, isn't it? That was a tie-down question, wasn't it? Those can get pretty annoying pretty quickly, right? Those are all tie-down questions. Wouldn't you agree? And actually, they are so effective at getting people to say yes that in the courtroom, they're called leading questions, and they are banned. They are banned from the courtroom. So don't use them in law. Use them in sales. Now, the third kind of closing question that I'm going to mention is an alternative choice question. Or sometimes people just call it a choice question or choice of two positives. We want to give people a choice and as many choices as we can along the way. We want to help people choose between option A or option B, this delivery date or that delivery date, this package size or that package size, this date on the calendar or that one. We should give people as many choices as possible throughout the entire sales process, and especially in the end when we are taking somebody through a closing funnel. Now, I do want to mention that these are choice questions are a really good type of question for you to use when taking someone through a closing funnel to set an appointment. A bad way to try to set an appointment is to say, "When would you like to meet?" Because it's so open-ended, it leads to confusion. And what your prospect is thinking, never. They're thinking, "I never want to meet." So instead, we want to give people a series of choice questions and ask, would this week or next week work better for you? Well, next week, I can either meet on Tuesday or Thursday. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer morning or afternoon? Well, gosh, in the afternoon, I'm real busy, but I can do 3 or 5. Which one fits your schedule best? We want to take people through a series of choice questions. And the last kind of question I'm going to talk to you about using in your series of stoplights is the assumptive close. After you've asked a general yes question, after you have used tie-down questions and choice questions, and you've taken someone through the closing funnel, by the time you get to that point, they're probably ready for you to say, "Well, in order to get started, I just need to get your address. And assumptively move into the paperwork or into the next steps to assume the close.